Well, our snow left about as quickly as it came. That's going to give us a chance to get out into the orchard. There's a few things I want to show you about how to get your trees and shrubs ready for winter. One of the most common types of winter injury, especially on young trees like this sweet cherry and on newly transplanted trees, is southwest injury. And it's called southwest injury because it occurs usually on the southwest side of the tree, down near ground level. Now, as the trees go into winter, through fall and early winter, they start gaining cold hardiness and they're able to withstand the midwinter cold temperatures. Now, the southwest side is where the warm afternoon sun is. And in mid and late winter, as that warm sun hits that bark, sometimes the tree can be tricked into thinking it's closer to spring than it really is. This bark starts to become active and loses some of its cold hardiness. Then when night comes, sun goes down, cold comes back, or a cold front comes through, this active part of the bark will be killed, whereas the northern side of the bark, where it's still dormant, still has its winter hardiness, that will be undamaged. And this will leave a strip of dead bark on that southwest side. Now, there's no way to cure that, but you can prevent it by preventing that sun from reaching the bark so that it doesn't warm up the bark and start to become active. One of the easiest ways of doing that is with a commercial tree wrap, this kind of crinkled paper. You can use any sort of regular brown paper. It doesn't really matter. This stuff is much easier to work with because it's kind of flexible. It comes in an easy roll. You just roll it around itself at the bottom to hold it, and then you just spiral around up the tree, pulling it relatively tightly. Usually most of your damage is in the bottom foot or so. So if you can come up about 18 inches, that'll more than cover any place that should be damaged by southwest injury. Then come in with some masking tape, seal off the top, and we're going to put some on the bottom just to keep the wind from catching that bottom part and unraveling it from the bottom. Masking tape is probably one of the best to use because it will break down fairly quickly and come loose. If you use a real tight and long-lasting tape, such as electrician's tape or duct tape, you might girdle the tree. So masking tape means that you'll have to come back and either redo it or replace it fairly quickly, but it reduces the chances of girdling your tree. Now, you can also use white latex paint and paint the trunk. And what this does, it reflects the sun's rays, and so it's not absorbed by the bark, so the bark does not warm up. And that works very well. If you do use white latex paint, make certain to use the cheapest interior white latex you can get. The expensive paints and exterior latex paints have additives put in them to make them last longer. These additives can sometimes be toxic to the bark. So get cheap white latex paint, that works best. Now there are spiral plastic mouse guards that are on the market sold for fruit trees. These work as mouse guards. They will also work to protect the trunk from the sun and will work on southwest injury. Don't confuse them with these. These are weed whacker guards. These are put around and are just to prevent the line damage from weed whackers. The mouse guards need to be much taller, and also to get good protection from southwest injury, it needs to be much taller than this. So don't go putting these on thinking you're going to be doing any rodent or winter injury protection from them. It's not what they're made for.